for you, how would you describe yourself as a person?
Let's see. I just be chilling. Like, I'm just a regular dude.
For those who are new, my name is Day. I am the founder of arabbitshole.
I feel like at the end of the day, being any kind of artist, it's literally just a series of choices that you're making. And there's no good or wrong choice towards making art. Like, you just made the choice that you did. And so I try and tell myself that of like, okay, I just need to make a choice. I just need to make a decision here and there, and then keep making decisions until the thing is done.
What's up, everybody? It's Diego from arabbitshole. We're here at the Adobe event for San Francisco Design Week.
We out here.
We're out here. Arabbitshole.
I'm here with arabbitshole, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna hit that. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Hyundai. I screenshot it too. Let me screenshot that joint. 100 subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. A lot of guys here. Make sure that you support.
I just want to say that to anyone that is inspiring to be a creative or just all around trying to discover what it is that they want to do, it took a lot of time, definitely a lot of trial and error, but the important thing is that you can do it.
Welcome back to a Deeper Dig conversation series, the 5-year anniversary. Normally, I would say an episode, but it's its own entity. But, you know, I just want to first shout out everyone that's been supporting arabbitshole since the start. I just remember back in 2020, I was just a 20-year-old kid, just really having a vision of how I want to go about doing arabbitshole creatively, and just seeing how, like, I was able to blossom and, have the team blossom. It's definitely been a blessing in disguise. Shout out Diego, shout out Tony. You guys been putting in a lot of work, and I just been grateful. None of this would have been possible without you. And so just want to say thank you all, first of all.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And I do want to tackle one thing first. The pronunciation. A lot of people come out and pronounce arabbitshole wrong. And in my opinion, I don't think it's that hard, but just to emphasize this, is a rabbit hole. It's all one word. It's not a rabbit hole. You add emphasis on the TS. I just wanted to point that out. So I do want to talk about the five years, man. Like, I know, like, it's been crazy just because, just where we at with our journeys. Like, I remember Tony, like, not even almost 2 years ago now that
probably, yeah.
Yeah, that we met and we just kind of shot an image at Berkeley, and we brought the storytelling to life. And so, one of the things that I'm curious about is just like your whole process with it.
What, like how we shoot arabbitshole stuff?
Yeah, how we shoot arabbitshole stuff, just like any execution stages you have at all with camera work.
Well, I think, the first shoot, we kind of just shot it in just a wide angle, like just a super wide shot, just you two. Usually it's two people just sitting in the middle of the screen. And then I kind of think that just become like a part of our brand almost. Mm-hmm. So like almost every Deeper Dig, we just have it looking like that shot, just like a real like minimalist approach to shooting an interview with two people.
Yeah, and just letting the whole backdrop and letting the whole background speak for itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nature vibes.
And I know that, we've been able to have numerous amount of guests on, and just fast forward to now as well, like Diego's been involved with that process. And, a little bit of a story with Diego and I, we've been knowing each other for a very long time, did basketball together, and just seeing how he's been able to blossom into his own creative form and just kind of implement that here has been very grateful. And so I'm curious, Diego, as well, just like, kind of seeing how the process with the Deeper Digs go and you elevating your own sense of journalism, like how's the process been for you,
The process has definitely been interesting. I feel like it's something that's been in my horizon, but I just hadn't sort of executed, or I didn't have the right sort of opportunity yet. And then things kind of fell in line, and we linked back up and we started doing some creative work together. But it's been new, and I appreciate sort of like you helping me with the journalism aspect of it. Like there will be times where we go to do something and you'll be like, all right, you're just gonna take over on this one. Like you're gonna do the intro, you're gonna do the outro, you're gonna ask the questions, you're gonna do the networking. Like I'll be here if you need any help, but like I'm gonna throw that one on you today. Like let's see what we can cook up. So that's been super helpful. And now I feel like I'm going into like a journalism phase. Like I feel like I'm becoming a journalist. So appreciate that.
And it's the whole feeling of just being multiversed, like just really exploring different routes. And, I just want to emphasize that here at arabbitshole, it's just really like a sense of curation and also like a sense of just getting inspirations from all over. And so what I'm curious about, and I can particularly start off, is just sharing like different types of inspirations. And so for me, when I started arabbitshole, I still love music and I love all the people that I was able to connect with organically through music. But I think over time, I really focused on blossoming and just exploring different routes outside of music, just because I'm a very creative individual. I'm someone that gets inspiration from all over. And so I have a list of people I do want to shout out, like as far as inspirations go. It's a lot more design because I guess I'm in a design stage right now, but Play SF, Study Hall, Landscape, Dyson, yes, the Dyson fans, and just people in design in general, like everyone from that industry in particular is doing great work. And I mean, I could shout out everyone, but that's a long list. But for those who are in design and people that are just working their own way creatively from a visual standpoint, like I take a lot of different inspirations. And so, I'm also curious, Toom Diego, like who do you get inspired by?
It's a really good question. I think I get inspired by a lot of creatives, but I also get inspired by people that are close to me. I get inspired by my mom and my brother. I feel like they're super deep in like fashion and pop culture, the both of them. So I feel like I kind of got a head start with that type of stuff. But I'm also a super big fan of you two. Obviously, your guys' work, Galen Kaysen. I have some friends in New York that also have clothing brands. One is Andrew from Ordinary Practice, and the other is Landon from Viewfinder.com. And those guys kind of just document their process and show kind of what it's like just doing things on your own, having your own business. And I definitely get inspiration from a lot of those homies. So just to name a few.
Yeah, and I do want to shout out Devin Hicks, Deborah Hicks, Mark Hicks. That's the family. I mean, they inspired me in so many ways. My mom worked at Apple, and so I find that just that technology and that creative route is really what got me exploring different tech industries in general and just being more familiar. And then, of course, my dad has been a landscape for me in a while with sports, but at the same time, like he offers some great advice. And then my brother, like he released a book. He's doing a lot of his own creative practices. And, for me, I'm definitely a proud younger brother. But at the same time, like, those are people that I also get inspired by daily. And Tony, I'm curious, like, who do you get inspired by? You can shout out the family, shout out everyone.
Yeah, of course, my fam. But like artistically, just like all our just local, not even local, but just our little like artistic circle of people we've been able to connect with. And then, yeah, people local as well, like people I like know in person, just stuff they're posting on Instagram, this inspires me every day. I take a little inspiration from them, and then just kind of turn it into our own little thing.
Yeah. No, that's actually a great transition because, and I say this all the time, I feel like San Francisco and just the Bay Area in particular is not as much buzz out here compared to like, LA and New York. And so what I love about what it is that we do especially is just we take in a lot of different inspiration from those areas and we also implement it here in the Bay Area. And so I'm curious in particular, like when you think of the Bay Area and you think of like what's going on here, what does that mean for you?
Man, I think the Bay Area means sports. I think it means culture, pop culture. I think it means melting pot. I think you can say that about a lot of places, but it definitely means that. And I don't know. I think it's trend setting. I think it's innovation. I think it's a lot of those things. So yeah, that's kind of what it means to me. Like when I picture the Bay Area, like I picture winning championships and like going to a car show and doing stuff like that. I feel like there's a lot of richness that goes on in there. So yeah, just to name a few things, I think there's some flash there.
I think the culture part is definitely like, it should be emphasized because it feels more authentic, like it feels genuine. Like if you have, for example, someone that's doing a car show, like I don't think anyone is too big to like really just introduce themselves, because I think at the end of the day, everyone's trying to build themselves up. And so, Tony, I'm curious from your perspective as well, especially just being in the landscape of videography and being around people, that are in your industry.
Yeah.
Like, how important is that to have that community as well?
Yeah, I mean, I love our little like Bay Area community of creatives. Like, I feel like it's not even just like film. Like, if you know someone like that's doing music, doing film, doing fashion, like they all like know each other somehow or like have some like mutual like connection. So I feel like we're all like interconnected, no matter like what you're doing in the art space. We're all just like a little community.
Yeah. And transitioning to that, discussing about the deeper digs. So I want to mention the process of the deeper digs, like even outside the camera stuff. Like I know like when I first originally sought out to do the deeper digs, one of the things that I feel like was very important for me was incorporating the sense of how can I have it stand out cinematically. And, just going back to inspirations, I get inspired by film. I think, where was I when I really came up with it? I honestly got inspired by Tron. I mean, Tron Legacy is a massive, massive inspiration for what I do here. And, just having that feeling of space and having a feeling of it aligns cinematically, I really wanted to incorporate that with arabbitshole, even if it wasn't set in the future. But like Tony mentioned, we incorporated that into our own style and just kind of having the background speak for itself. And, in particular, Joaquin Miller Park means a lot to me, this area in particular, just because we shot the 4-year here. We shot August Lee Stevens, which is arguably my most favorite shot video, actually. I
agree. I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one. And just kind of like where we did the first deeper dig, it was all here. And so, I kind of do want to like raise this up for discussion. Like, what was your most favorite one? Is it August?
Yeah, it's up there. I'd top 5 probably.
Yeah. And by the way, we're not doing this as far as a ranking. I do want to just shout out.
We're saying like the best shot interview.
The best shot interviews, the one where it's like, like I really like these ones. Some that come into mind. I mean, in PSA, like I really love all the guests that we had so far, and I love how it was all shot. But I do want to shout out in particular Jayue. That one was
That's
really
my
good.
Favorite one, yeah.
That's your favorite one?
Yeah.
Why was it your favorite?
Field. It's just the trees just being all like symmetrical and just, yeah, because I think there's like 3 like palm trees or something, and just like looked really good, and just like the fog, and I think the color turned out really good too. And then it was like an overcast day, so there was no like lighting changes or anything.
Yeah, I like that one. I think in my opinion, my most favorite one, dude, we do so much great stuff, and I'm back and forth on it. But right now it's Michelle.
No, that's probably number 2, like on the tree stump for sure.
On the tree stump, and it's very unordinary to just sit on the tree stump, but it felt so natural. It
was hard for you to get up there.
It was very hard for me to shoot even the teaser.
Yeah.
I ended up just with back pains for the rest of the day just trying to get on that slide. But Diego, I'm also curious from your perspective too, like, because when you joined, we were already like deep into the deeper digs, but cinematically, I'm curious on like how much do you really add that to, like, getting knowledgeable about it and just where you looked at for inspiration.
You're saying like, what do I think about like the way that you guys put
Like the
together
way we
shots?
do the way we do it, but at the same time, like, you know, cinematically in general, like inspirations.
Yeah, I was curious to see how you guys sort of set it up when we started doing stuff, the three of us, and I noticed very quickly that you guys had just a way that you put things together, and a lot of times it was like finding a good spot, making sure that it looked good, trying to set up the tripod, doing all those things. And so just like watching the details and watching how you guys operate sort of helped me further understand like where I can add value rather than like hovering over you guys and just being like, oh yeah, this guy over here is just like coming along for the ride.
Guess
Like,
what's
yeah, exactly. So I'm just trying to figure out like ways that I can plug in and be helpful to the team. So it's definitely been a learning process, but it's been good. I've had some experience with it, but now that we're full boots on the ground and we're going, it's exponential.
Yeah. Like I remember really in September where we were just like, yeah, like things are gonna ramp up. Like come October, come November. Like it was during the summer. And I said like the summer is gonna be used as a planning period.
Yeah.
And then November
Yeah.
is like where things get going. And you know, like we've been ramping up in November. Like Asian Art Museum, that good shit. Just a lot of things that we've been doing. And so, you know, I'm curious from your perspective, Diego, just because going to these events and just really being exposed to various industries, like how do you feel like that's been helpful in your creative process and just getting exposed to all of it?
I think it's been a lot of things for us. Going to events has been good because you sort of kill a bunch of birds with one stone. You can network, you can understand how sort of like the industry goes, the ebbs and flows, and then you kind of just the reoccurring thing that happens at all of these events is that there's always a sense of community. And so depending on how it is, sometimes it's different one way or another depending on where you are and what it is, but a lot of times it's that. So it's kind of just like giving it a feel, seeing how it is, and then just plugging and playing.
Yeah, I love that. I will say, I feel like one of the more challenging deeper digs that we did was definitely with What More. Like I love What More. I love the gang, but just going in, because a lot of times I really do want to mention, like, you know, some of the challenges that we do have with the creative process, just because it can kind of help those along the way. But going in, you know, for me especially, since I'm the one that's going in and interviewing, I kind of think about the whole process of just what is it that particular creative has done, what is it that they're looking forward to, and importantly, like how exactly we can create the connection of who they are as a human and who they are with the work that they do and correlate that into one pot. Hence why I always ask the question of how will you describe yourself as a person, but I need to like word that differently for next year. And so I'm curious, like, you know, especially you from a more technical process, just shooting the What More deeper dig, because I am interested in hearing that. I never got a chance to ask you about that.
Well, it wasn't hard. It was just we had to like get some more mics because how many people is it? Like six?
It was five.
Five? Yeah.
Five of them. Five What More.
5-6 people total, yeah.
Yeah, six people total, but five people.
So we got new mics, the old mics, and then some mics I borrowed from someone. So that's pretty much the only hard part. But I think it was like one of our best interviews or deeper digs for sure.
Mm-hmm. It was just different because it was like shot at a live show. Things were kind of going fast.
Yeah.
Whatever. We set up. We made it happen. But it was just different than usual.
Yeah, we work on the move, and you know, especially with the teaser, and the Avara teaser was definitely something that I feel like, man, if I had to do it over again, I probably would, just because I sounded loud and Tommy Richmond was on me. But you know, I just feel like what's so great about what we do, like we definitely do put in a lot of effort with the work that we do because we care about the quality, but we don't spend as much time with it because I feel like, and I've applied this to my life, I don't believe that you should spend 5 to 6 hours working on a singular project. I mean, just speaking for myself, whenever I do something related towards a rabbit hole, especially with the article pieces, for the most part, I really focus on the writing, and that usually takes like an hour. And just for those who are trying to be journalists, I think like the best way to start is really just kind of creating your own platform and just really exploring like what is it that you like, what is it that you don't like, and even just highlight the things that you may not like because it helps you develop and grow. And like, I told you this like last week, but like we don't really spend as much time, but we get the work in. And so I'm curious in hearing, especially like just kind of working on the go. Like, do you incorporate that with your other projects? Because you work on other side stuff, and I'm curious about that.
What's the question exactly?
So the question is like just kind of working on the go, like kind of being active and just working on various projects, like how you manage that, your time management.
Yeah, like I gotta make time for arabbitshole stuff because I also do my own freelancing stuff. So most of it doesn't take too long to edit. Like it's usually I can get it done, but I feel like I'm really efficient at it because I've been editing a long time and I'm able to get out edits quick. In terms of the mini digs, those are like more longer form stuff. So those are the ones we're trying to like really be our like big projects and not like not try to push them out as quickly and really take our time with those ones. But yeah, for the most part, it's just been pretty easy on the editing side. I got a good workflow. I got a good like color preset. Not a preset, but I got like a power grade that I use and tweak a little bit. And that's kind of become like our like signature look for sure.
Yeah, and we're upgrading our lower thirds too.
Yeah, we're getting more like graphic designs elements in there as well. So we're doing a lot of good stuff. A
lot of attention to detail, and just also speaking from the technical side, because I also work on the website. First of all, I want to shout out Cargo. Cargo, I appreciate you, and I appreciate your website platform. Just kind of having a rabbit hole there and just kind of being a little bit easier, but just kind of highlighting the process. I focus on a very minimalistic style, but at the same time, having everything there and everything in a presentable way. And so just speaking about my creative workflow, I focus on the writing. I also focus on how visually I wanted to align and focus on the curation part. And speaking on the curation part, Diego has been cooking on the event coverage as of lately.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious just because, you know, you did a lot of work with Last Straw and then we collabed on the Adobe projects. Just how do you kind of go into just highlighting specifically what is it that you want to talk about, like the energy that you bring out?
It's a good question. Honestly, I think my answer is not going to be the best. My answer is that I kind of just go into it with no expectations, and a lot of times I go into it not even like having the facts straight, but not knowing much else, and just kind of just going into it blindly. I found that kind of gives me a more genuine feel where I can go into it and like actually just like feel how I'm feeling.
And it works great because it comes out more natural. Because you're like kind of blind to it, and like just because you're blind to it doesn't mean you don't know what it is you're talking about. You're just going in with a more genuine reaction rather than something that's planned.
For sure.
Yeah, that's good. And so just kind of like wrapping it up, 2026, you know, just speaking from our end, we have a lot of goals. One of the big goals, and I do want to shout it out, is that we will have an event in 2026 that will happen. As far as when, stay tuned. But I believe that if we were to have an event, most importantly, we will want to do it in our own way that aligns with our own brand and focuses on the quality. Because for us, we're very well versed. We're very well versed into various topics, and we're very well connected. And I believe that the important thing is that we really utilize that feeling of being well versed in a way that aligns perfectly with the event that we may have. And just, I'm excited for that. But also, I want to go to New York. Like, we want to go to New York. We want to do some event coverage and just,
yeah, for sure,
shouting that out to him. Like, just, there's a lot that we have set in store. There's New York, there's the event, and also like just be more present. You know, like for the most part, we love going to events and we love getting exposed, especially just because it's in San Francisco. And San Francisco is a very creative city full of creative and well-versed people like ourselves. And so any opportunity that we can get to just being exposed with like-minded people is an opportunity that, for myself, I can't pass up. And at the same time, just kind of blossoming alongside us. And so, you know, just to wrap everything up, I just want to thank everyone. First of all, thank you to my family. Thank you for those who always support. And, you know, I'm just very grateful. Any last shout outs?
For sure. Definitely. I'm definitely grateful for everyone who's sort of supported and kind of been there and always just kind of been like, cool, love what you're doing. So shout out to you guys. And then also, if any of you guys see us out there in the wild, like feel free to say what's up and connect with us and go from there. We're kind of like Dalen says, we're trying to emphasize the aspect of community. That's like the most important thing that we're trying to do is just create lasting community. So if you see us, say what's up. We would really appreciate it.
Tony?
Just shout out to everyone that's been keeping up with our stuff. It's cool to see people like really like be into the real like details we're putting into it. Like, oh, like the color is like super cool. Like, and then the like certain shots they're like familiar with. And yeah, just everyone that's tuned in. Shout out to you for putting this all together too.
Yeah, dude, I really love that. I love that we're just able to come together and just sit at Joaquin Miller Park on a Monday and just vibe, man. Like,
It's really getting dark.
Yeah, it's getting dark, and just
If this video doesn't look as good, it's because I'm not behind the camera.
dude, and yeah, just one more thing I want to say. I love giving advice and I love hearing advice. My biggest advice is for those who feel like they don't know where to start or they don't know what to do. I've been there. Trust me, I'm still there. I still always feel like I have to grow and I have to learn, but just be connected with people. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid of getting rejected neither. It's the whole process, but you will grow. You will blossom. It's just part of your journey, similar to ours. Thank you, and continue digging deeper.
Yeah.
Rabbit's hole.
Peace.
That was a sick outro you did.
Yeah, and then just let it like, you know, stay in there, and then that'll be the outro. Yeah, the three cheers.
We were
Bruh, we were